Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Angela Gibbs looks good for her age. She is 70 years old. Who is Angela Gibbs? Marla Gibbs' daughter. You know Marla Gibbs. Is it Florence? I'm getting up there, so I'll be Jefferson, the maid from the Jeffersons. Was her name Florence? Okay. I think it was Florence, right? So she's 93 years old, honey. So I Googled them. So just a little bit on Marla. She married her high school sweetheart, just like I did. And she had three kids, one girl, two boys. They stayed married like almost 20 years. And the daughter, Angela, is 70. And girl, child, she looks good for 70. But Mrs. Marla Gibbs, she looks good for 93. She got all her scruples. She's moving. I didn't see a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, nothing. She's doing good. Now, and they had so much fun kikiing at that table for lunch, and they was there with Judge Maybelline. I wish I was at that table. That's kind of kikiing, okay? Talking about the boys and the stuff. So, on another note, why was Kevin Jr. staying in a hotel room by himself when he's experiencing seizures? And you have a grandmother, two aunts. Tony even has a home in Atlanta. Where the kids? They're grown, don't they? Do they live in Atlanta or they live in LA too? Like, why is Kevin Jr. by himself at a hotel room? Make that make sense. And Trina, what does sullen means? You look sullen. What does that mean? Well, besties, it means angry, unhappy, unpleasant. Okay. But Trina, good for that. Anyway, hey besties. Welcome to Behind the Shade. I don't think we don't throw shade on the Braxtons, but we're gonna get into it. It's another episode of The Braxtons, season 1, episode 6. The title is It Takes a Village. Um, child, this village ain't right. Why is Kevin Jr. staying at a hotel? Kevin, Kevin Jr., you may need another village because these Braxtons, sorry, I'm sorry. Why were you not at your grandmother's house? Mom. Why wasn't you at mom's house? Tawanda is your godmother also. Why wasn't you there? Don't that big house have an extra room? You needed to be around your people. But okay, y'all, we're not going to change the title. So I want to, but we're not. How about Kevin Jr.? You need a new village. Am I throwing shade? I guess I am. So Tony and Miss E, they meet for lunch. They're in LA and they go to Mr. Chow's. I caught that. And so did y'all peep how Tony was like, Evelyn always says, I'm going to get what you get. She said that twice in this episode. So did you peep how Tony told the waiter, we'll have the usual? Okay, then the usual at Mr. Chow's. I saw the prawn toast coming to the table. I've been there once. It was cool. So Tony wants to be filled in on what happened in Atlanta because she missed it because they told Tony she can't fly because that lupus was flaring up and she needs to stay healthy in order to start this residency in Vegas with Cedric, the entertainer. So what happened, mommy? What I missed? And she said, it was Tracy's birthday. We celebrated, and little Kevin came. And so she said, he looked lost to Miss E. She said, he just looks lost. And so they were like, oh, well, he's going to go see Spirit for some counseling before he leaves Atlanta. So that's good. So Miss E asked, how's your new residency going in Vegas with Cedric? So she said, that's a good time. Cedric is funny. And the first show starts on Mother's Day. So that was in May. I'm trying to think, do I know anyone who went? Someone I know went. They said it was good. Uh, so, Tony said she was set Miss E up on a date, but she didn't think that her mom was like ready to date like now. So she got to scramble around and find somebody. She got to find somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So, because Miss E told her that her and Trina went dress shopping and she found her dress. And so that's what Tony was like, for what? She said, ain't you supposed to be doing something for me? And she was like, oh, the date. Oh, okay, okay. So Miss E has high standards still, honey. Now, if Tony is in her late 50s, we can safe to say that maybe Miss E is in her late 70s, early 80s. She looks good now, don't she? So she don't want him to be young, but she has high standards. He got to be tall, blah, blah, blah. She wants a Denzel Washington, the way Tony explained it. So back in Atlanta, child, Tamar is getting ready to have her interview with none other than Carlos the King. And so she's nervous because Carlos is a key, honey. And so is Tamar. Tamar is a key. And he's messy also, So she got questions like, what we talking about? What you want to know? What you gonna ask me? And so she says she a little nervous. So she drinking a little bit, a little tequila, a little Patron. And so he says, Carlos promises that he's not going to go too far, and he's laughing and all that. And so he asked the questions, and yeah. So he asked her about, Braxton family values, like how did it start? Something about like, did you catch heat from your sisters because you were like, the star of the show? She said definitely there was some tension there. Talked about Vince, how they met. She met Vince, she was 26, blah, blah, blah. Talked about their marriage and it ending. And she pretty much said they grew apart. That's why they ended the marriage. So then they talked about the new show, the Braxtons. And so she pretty much was like, I'm a friend to the show. I wasn't mentally stable with Braxton family values. So, I almost lost my life, and she says she has to be accountable now for her son and herself. And, she's got to make sure she's mentally healthy. But at the same time, they mentioned that there's a new production team here with Weed TV. They have more people that look like them on the crew. So it's giving, more flex, she can do her thing and set her boundaries. So Tony goes to meet her stylist. They're going to pick out her wardrobe for the residency because, you got to be cute. And, Tony has always brought it on stage, honey. I don't know why she tripping. Tony has always nailed her looks on stage. So she puts it out there to the team that she needs to find someone for her mom to date. And so one of the stylists was like, oh, my brother's single. He's 50. And so Tony was like, child, that is too young. Mom, that is too young. Okay. So Miss E goes to lunch with Marla Gibbs, the daughter Angela, and Judge Maybelline. She looked good too. And so, she wants to take them out and hang out with her friends because she wanted to discuss dating because they're dating. And I'm like, now I know Marla is still not dating at 93. Maybe her daughter at 70, but not Marla. Marla, she just there. So Miss E wants she says she wants the guy, he has to have a bag. And they talking about, oh yeah, it has to be the green bag, not the the bag where when you get old. What's the colostomy bag? Not that bag, but the green bag is what Evelyn wants. And here she goes again. He has to be tall. And so Judge Maybelline said, was saying is, adult fun at night, is that important to you? I can't say the word, but I'm paraphrasing. So she said, she pretty much was saying, intimacy is not important to them at that age. And so she was like, is that still important to you? And so Miss E was like, yes. And Miss Marla Gibbs is over there making comments, making old funny remarks. And they just over there keying, talking about what she say? They was just having fun. Miss Marla Gibbs said something about you don't have to you can do that by yourself. Talk about the adult fun at night. She said, well, you can do that by yourself. And they just kikied. So Mr. Denham Braxton, honey, he has a photo shoot, honey. And then his mom stops by. And I don't know how old he is, but I would think, 20s, I don't know, mid or early, but early, mid 20s, maybe. This is the beginning of his modeling career. And, Tony got to stop by and she got to see what's going on to see if he's serious. And, because she's willing at any chance, child, she's going to be that momager. So, but she also knows that she needs to be mindful of how she acts because this is serious. This is his job. Don't come up here with that, my baby, my love, my bookie scoot. Don't be coming up there with the nicknames. And so Tony, just being Tony, she did inserted herself. She want to get some pictures with him, not just one or two. I think they had a full photo shoot. I'm sure that photographer sent her an invoice. They took a whole bunch of pictures. And she had to ask him which ones were cool because she want to post them on her Instagram. So he gave his approval and he let her know that this is what he wants to do. And he doesn't want to be Tony Braxton's son. He wants to be Denham Braxton. Okay. So, honey, this day, we move on to the date. This is the day, honey. Miss E has on the dress that her and Trina picked out. She meets up with the guy. And she's like, oh, I think this is him because he has on all purple. I was like, child, he got on all purple down to the earbud. Did y'all see that? The shirt, the hat, the earbud. Oh, no. You are too matchy, bruh. Don't tell me you have a collection of colored earbuds to match. Are you serious? Oh, no. Say it as it's so. Bootsy. Okay. So, he don't pass the test. He does not pass the test. And I bet you it was that purple earbud. So they meet, he hugs. His name is Shelly something, last name. He was just saying, he's plain and simple. He don't like fancy food. He don't eat spaghetti. He did a lot of talking, I want to say. I think that's what production was pointing out. He was like, I don't know who suggested this Italian restaurant, but he gonna ask the waitress he gonna tell the waitress he wants some black people food. And I'm thinking that's what turned Miss E off. Because I was like, I think I thought he was okay. Miss E ain't here to play, honey. One and done. So he let her know, I'm a jokester. I joke. And she said, yeah, me too. And he said it a few times that he likes to have fun. So I think he talked a little bit too much for her. He was saying that he was in he was in Tyler Perry's first 2 movies. And he probably went into all of that. And don't nobody really want to hear all that on the first date. It may seem like you're bragging. He said he was in some fashion shows and he's handsome. He's older, and I heard him say at the house, it's just 3 people that live there, me, myself, and I. That was corny. And he also said, as beautiful as she is, he would think that so many people would be knocking her door down. And he was like, why did I get a chance? Why would you ask that? Why would you ask that? So the waitress suggested the chicken sandwich. So here go Miss Evelyn. I'll have that too. So the chicken sandwich comes, it's on some little rectangle plate, small rectangle plate, big old French fries, and the chicken sandwich just looked, it didn't look like the fried chicken sandwich that's popular. Thank you, Popeyes. But this looks like a chicken sandwich. Neither one of them liked it. They both boxed it up. They didn't even eat. He even asked the waitress, like, what kind of fries are these? And then she said what they were, and he couldn't repeat it. Miss Evelyn thought they said something else. I thought they were bonding, but clearly she was just getting by. And he just probably wasn't classy enough for her. Because who sits there and says, um, I just, I don't like nothing on this menu. I just like a hamburger, and then I could just go for some lobster. So that kind of probably, I think that's Miss Evelyn gave him a look. He wasn't looking, he was reading the menu, and I think that's what threw her off. But production asked, will there be a second date? And she paused and she said, he is great for someone else, but for me, no. Next. So Kevin Jr. has his first counseling session, his therapy session with Spirit. And so he tells her that he was blindsided by the divorce. He said he would fight for the marriage. Olivia was like, yeah, fight for the marriage. And then one day, boom, I'm filing for divorce. And so she told him that he needs to give himself permission to do what's best for him. And I think he took that in. So I liked how production did not give us a lot of what was said. They gave us a little bit to let us know that he did make it to therapy, and they cut it up. And so after the session, they went for a lunch break, and Kevin called Olivia. They were talking, and then the phone blacked out. He told her he was feeling weird, and the phone blacked out. So Kevin Jr. has been experiencing seizures ever since Tracy's passing. Production called Tawanda. She was on her way, and so I liked. Production went to go get him some medic. I don't know where the meds. I don't know. They went to get his meds. I don't know where they were, but they did go get his meds, and so they brought him to him, and they told him that he needed to take the meds every day. Tawanda went in there and consulted with him and hugged him and talked to him, and he was still like coming down from the seizure. He was still like a little shaken, and I think he had bruised his hand. So they asked for ice to ice his hand. So he had not been taking his meds every day, and she's like, yeah, you got to take your meds. So they call Miss Evelyn, and she tells him, you need to lighten your load. You need to limit, what you're doing. You're taking on too much. Production walks in with his meds, tells him that he needs to take 2 pills a day, not 1, 2. And they give him ice for his hand. So he was supposed to leave Atlanta and head back to Maryland that day because he had court the next morning. And so they had called Olivia, wanted her to reschedule the court date because he can't fly. They told him it's not safe to fly. So the next day, Miss Evelyn and Trina goes to his hotel room. And Trina says he looks sullen. And let's just stop. Why is he at the hotel room? Because if that was my nephew, and knowing that he lost his mom, he's going through a divorce, he had a seizure, it seems like you would want him to be with you. So what? He's taking the meds. So what? I wouldn't let him out my sight. Not only would he be at my house, girl, you already know, you sleeping not in my bed, but you're going to be in a room with somebody. You're not even going to be in a room by yourself. No, we need to make sure you are okay, because I don't know his situation in Maryland. They're not telling us that. We don't know. But while you're here right now, because you may need to be here a few days, You're not going in that darn hotel room by yourself. No. What kind of village is this? And Evelyn, you're not even Miss E right now. Evelyn, that is your grandson. Why you didn't want him to come be with you? Because that's where I would have went. You know, that woman can cook down to the ground. I'd have been right over there with my grandma. What do you call her? My mom. I'd have been right over there with my mom. So that blank Olivia called him because she went ahead and went to court, y'all. You cannot make this up. This woman is gonna make me curse. She went ahead and went to court, and you know what happens when you in family court, whatever you divorce court. I'm just gonna call it family court because of the son. You know, when you don't show up, they give the person that shows up everything they want. Gives them everything they want. And that is so sad that she did that. You thinking you thinking she cool, she gonna do right. You was telling her what happened. She witnessed you having a seizure while she was on the phone. You would think the woman would have some kind of compassion. But like Trina said, when it comes to divorce, people are only gonna worry about how they are feeling in the divorce. And nobody wins in the divorce. Nobody wins. This girl got full custody of their son, and she got the house. Woo, child. Woo! And I don't know what house they're speaking of. Did Kevin Jr. and Olivia purchase their own home? Did he get Tracy's home? I don't even know whose home are we talking about. Because what I do know, the dad had to move out of the house. He had to move out. Honey, what is going on? Olivia, you are a piece of work. And baby, ain't nothing good gonna happen to you. No one wins in a divorce. And you think you got everything and you got it going on because you got full cut. You still got to deal with Kevin Jr. You feel good about putting him out of his house? I hope it's the house that they bought and not Tracy's house. And maybe he got Tracy's house and maybe he rented it out or something. Or no, maybe I'm sure he has done nothing with it because I'm sure you're not even thinking about all that right now. It's only been 2 years since Tracy's been gone. But child, whew, poor Kevin. I cried. So since the show, the first 2 episodes, I cried because of Tracy. You know, all the flashbacks of her and how she looked. That was sad. So we're on 6. So the last, I think I think I've cried in every episode. I've cried. I think the third one I cried a little bit for Tracy, but by 4, 5, and 6, episode 4, 5, and 6, I've been crying for Kevin Jr. It's sad. I cried today. This is just sad. It's just sad. Okay. So she was supposed to reschedule court and she didn't, you little snake. So my mom tells him, well, you can appeal that. That was good. That was good. He needed to hear that because I don't think he knew. He said he feels betrayed by her again. So, honey, I know they probably can't come back from this. Not that they want to, but you know how sometimes when you're young, you kind of keep dealing with each other. I don't think there is any get back from after this. So they tell him he will get through this. You know, Mama E was like, you need to get an attorney. But you know what? You are your mother's son. Your mama didn't sit down for nothing. She got through everything. She rose above. She came out on the other side, blazing, and that's you. That's your mama. You're gonna do the same. So Trina was like, yes, and we love you, and the door is always open. Child, please. Trina, be quiet. Trina, be quiet. Why he couldn't come through your door last night? You over there too busy making dip and stuff for that old Vaughn. How come your nephew couldn't come to your house last night? Somebody gonna have to tell me why Kevin Jr. was in a hotel room. That's all I want to know. And that's the end of this review. Besties, it was emotional. Ooh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I almost thought we wasn't even going to see Trina this episode. I'm like, we don't get Trina this episode. And then she showed up at the end. Besties, put your comments. Let me know what you think. Put your comments down in the comments section. Why was Kevin Jr. in a hotel room? I don't know why that stuck out to me, but does anybody have seizures? Is this going to be a temporary medical condition for Kevin Jr., or is seizures going to be a part of his makeup now? When the stress ceases, does the seizures go away? Because it's stress induced. So maybe this is like a temporary thing for Kevin. But honey, oh, poor baby, poor baby. Okay, besties. That's the end of the episode. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, besties.
Be waiting long. If you treat me basic, I find replacement. I keep it playing all time. Don't make me wait too long. Oh, don't make me wait too long. You know.
Hey, the clock ticking, the plot thickens, I'm not tripping. I got, you got, we not different. Feel me? I got, but not really. Wonder where the time goes when you're not with me. Yeah, you're top 10, we should lock in, hop in. Baby, let me show you that I'm not playing. You probably used to weird, I'm not them. Watch this, press one button, that's your top.